You just watched With Rory James. Up next, an all-new episode of Cold Flights with special guest Charles Lynch. And later at 2:45, Fromo plays Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Only on WZX 49.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Connor from Dauphine Productions, and you're watching Cold Flights, the show with frosty beers and even frostier questions. With us today is actor Charles Lynch, who you might recognize from such films as Beat the Dead Horse, The Cow That Uttered Death, and his newest film coming to theaters later this month, Sean's Last Night. Charles, welcome to Cold Flights.
I'm delighted to be here, Connor.
In case you haven't noticed, in front of us we have 10 beers, each escalating in alcohol content. If you can survive the flight to the top, you get a free plug for your movie and a free lift ride home. All that stands between you and greatness, these beers and my questions.
Right, so question for you. You already plugged my movie, right? So I could just go?
Well, you would not get a free lift ride home.
Oh, okay, well, no, sure, yeah. Let's get to it then.
Hitting lead off, it's the French low-carb classic. It's Michelin Ultra.
I thought we were drinking beer.
Charles, we're just testing the waters here, all right? The sharks are not quite yet swimming. The sparks are not quite yet flying. The SWAT team is not yet quite close to making entry. And as a matter of fact, the... Nothing?
Yeah, it just kind of tastes like cold water that someone drank and just spit back into a beer.
Well, it is pretty light. Charles, I don't know if you know this, but you are one of our most requested guests for this show. I've had plenty of time to do research on you, and one of the things that I found most fascinating is that you, like myself, grew up a big fan of professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
How did that start, and what do you say to people who look down their nose at you and say things like, don't you know that's fake, or it's for kids, or you're just a big, giant, overgrown, naive idiot for watching that at all?
Oh, okay, I get it. Like, that line of thinking comes from a place of ignorance. They have no idea, they're just talking out of their ass. When you think about it, wrestling is acting distilled into its purest form, much like these distilled beverages here. It's no different than the theater, or a gladiator fight.
Who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Great question. There's a couple, three greats that are on my Mount Rushmore. You have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Randall Savage, Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Snuka, he killed, do you think it was his girlfriend?
Jimmy Snuka the man was a terrible person. But Superfly, the character, taught me the importance of good versus evil, of the antagonist and the protagonist, how these interconnections work, and how you really get to the best place you can for acting. It's basically Hamlet with spandex.
Off the top rope Broadway.
Way off the top.
Charles, round two, what you're looking at right now is the last of your name brands. It's Pat's Red Robin.
Oh yeah, you know, I met the head of marketing for them at the Golden Globes.
Last year when you were nominated for Prolapse of the Heart.
Yeah, we were talking quite a bit, and they really will not let that red ribbon thing go. You won it 150 years ago. I think it's time to let it go.
It's been a while.
You know, I won a Kids' Choice Award in 2007. You don't see me over here, toot toot. And really, their only competition that year, and we're talking 150 years ago, was a beer called Harsh Sunflower. And yeah, it was so harsh that it made 4 people go blind. One of them was the children.
Really?
In hindsight, that's not such a great beer, you know?
Well, hindsight's 20/20.
Not if you're blind. So anyway, Harsh Sunflower, they had to pivot, make a change.
Obviously.
That's a good idea. Some brainchild says, hey, took out the alcohol, don't worry about people going blind anymore. So Harsh Sunflower, as it was known, became beloved soda, Mellow Yellow, today.
Cleaning the whole glass like a champ. You love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beer you take to a party for people you don't like.
I love the attitude, love the gusto. You seem like someone who I think might be able to go all the way today. Let's get serious for just a second here because there's a bit of a controversy with you. You grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Now you live here, the wonderful city of New York. But you got to pick a side, especially when it comes to cuisine. And this is something that people don't take lightly.
Right.
Who makes the real clam chowder?
Okay, well, let's put it in perspective. One is a recipe predating the Revolutionary War and is forged in the bonds of New England. The other just tastes like raw sewage.
That's a bold statement here. All right, I think I see which way the wind is blowing for this one. Lobster roll or pastrami sandwich?
So this might throw you for a little bit of a loop, being a Boston guy, but pastrami sandwich all day.
It's a big coup.
The big thing is those pickles, get them out of here.
He's getting right out of there. Yeah.
Done. Next, put some sauerkraut in there. Mustard, Give me that Thousand Island. Now we're talking. That's a sandwich. That's a pastrami sandwich.
Well, score one for the Big Apple.
Yeah,
Charles.
and another thing, I'm a Dunks guy. I always go there for my donuts, but I thought I'll try one of these local New York joints, see what's going on with it. I walk in, I said, yeah, give me a dozen. What kind would you like? Okay, what kinds do you have? Well, we have sesame, we have onion, we have paprika. Do you want some egg salad on the side? And I'm thinking, what kind of donuts are these? I'm just trying to get some donuts, okay? Just give me 12 plain. I get them. I'm chewing on this thing, I'm eating it. It tastes like a pretzel. What kind of donut tastes like a pretzel?
Those are bagels, Charles.
Look, whatever you guys call your donuts up here, they're the shits.
Charles, we've added a new beer here to the list of 10. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of zing for you. It's the Baltimore Bad Apple Cider by Dre Vader Brewing. Get right up there, explore that rotten apple. I love those things.
Are they from Baltimore?
Phoenix, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I'd name anything sweet after Baltimore.
If you were to name a beer after Baltimore, what would you call it?
Maybe Edgar Allan Piss Parade. Love the mouthfeel.
Gets right up in there. Actually, doesn't taste anything like apples.
I can taste a little apple on the back end, right on the uvula, the tiny punching bag in your mouth. It's hitting me there.
Charles, what's hit me over the years is your chameleon-like ability to adapt new personalities, personas, and accents and all the rules that you play. But one thing I keep hearing from all of your co-stars, from those you started out with to the big-name actors you see today, is their common belief that you are the king of impersonations.
What's the deal with Larry?
Where did that start? Take me on that journey.
So, I mean, it really goes back to when we were on the set of Lifting the Dream. The true story of Moroccan bodybuilder Akim Abraham Arham. Very, very, very important passion project of mine. That's why I said very 3 times consecutively. Everybody's just working their asses off. We're sending the dailies to the studio executives. Their feedback to us, cool. And that's not cool. You know, it's just grating. So we realize, you know, we're lifting the dream, but we need to lift our spirits. So I take the boys to the Moroccan oil market.
Like, do you sell oils there? Is it like an oil field?
It's a slippery slope. I take the boys down and we're just checking everything out. And, you know, I'm just trying to get them excited again and get everybody happy. So I just start doing a couple different impressions for them. You know, I did my walk-in and a couple other things just to lighten the mood.
Slipping in and out, that chameleon-like ability coming out. I'm gonna need to ask you to do it right here, right now.
Oh, please, come on.
Give me your best Christopher Walken.
Oh, okay. This is just a lot of pressure, but okay. Let me just... I kept that watch up my ass for 5 long years. And then he died of dysentery, and that watch, she gave it to me. Now it's coming to you. Captain Coons, Pulp Fiction.
Okay, Sylvester Stallone?
Okay, that's another challenging one, thank you. Okay. Just have to think of all 25 Rocky movies. Okay. Over there, I could fly a gunship, I could drive a tank. Yeah, they trusted me with over $1 million worth of equipment. Dig it!
I guess I haven't seen First Blood in a while. All right, Charles, 3 down, 7 to go. You're well on your way, and I'm really loving what I'm seeing from you right now. Up next at number 4, back in stock right now, it's the Ich bin ein Berlinerweise by Sasquatch Brewing.
Ask not what your liver can do for you, but what you could do to your liver.
Cheers to that, sir.
Cheers to that, man. That's good stuff. We drink these things not because they are easy, but because they are wicked hard.
I gotta tell you, that is a quality Richard Nixon. Charles, one of the things that people like me think about when we look at people like you is a little bit of what they call the beard envy. When I grow a beard, I gotta tell you, I look like a chipmunk, the Theodore kind, not the Simon kind. What does it take for a person like you to curate a majestic, Yeti-like, woodsman-type beard, like the kind you've curated over the years?
I'm glad you brought Fitzgerald up. It all goes back to the Moroccan oil markets. It started there. I found this very perfect cedar oil. Not every day, every couple days, combing it out.
I'm gonna get back to that in a second. You You name your beard?
Oh, absolutely. Every beard is unique to each character I play. Whether I'm winning a 2007 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award or playing Abraham Bakalabaka. They're a different entity, a different animal, if you will.
How do you name them? What makes you decide on how you do that?
Oh, I have a dartboard.
Up next, the newest release by Killer Craftworks. It's the Lil Pickles Pale Ale, garnished with a Lil Pickles Lil Pickle.
Does it taste like pickles?
A little.
Yeah. That's a lot of pickle.
It kicks really strong. It really kicks.
It does. It's just like it burns. It's still pickling.
Pickles linger.
I'm not trying to oversell it right now, but this is awful. Like I
is
just
the
like.
worst. Why would you add this?
Jesus Christ! I really can just taste that right down the back of my mouth.
All right, Charles, you were nominated for your performance as 1960s jazz icon Bill Evans in a trio of one. What's the difference as an actor trying to bring a real person to life versus a fictional character?
Oh, that's just it's a great question, really. You're just trying to bridge the gap between having this fictional character and this real person, and you have to try and get them to meet in the middle. And sorry, it's just the pickles. And when you take these things and you're just trying to meet it in the middle and just bring it all together, and you get a mistake.
You're finding your zen, you're finding your nirvana, which is the thing I think we can all use a little bit of right now. I was very impressed watching you as Bill Evans, and I gotta ask you, where do you even begin trying to bring a legend to life like that?
It's difficult, right? It's difficult, like trying to keep this pickle juice down. It's a great question. I mean, with someone like Bill, a historical figure, you have the advantage of watching interviews that they've done, being able to see them do a performance for jazz, right? And so with Bill, I just zeroed on things he'd do in interviews.
So what were some mannerisms of his that you would kind of pick up on?
He'd talk to people, and the script called for that a lot. I needed to knock that out of the park.
Yeah, I can see how a person could really get lost in that.
Yeah, and that's just a big misconception. You know, actors aren't people. We're just the canvases upon which the characters are painted. Like when I was playing Dolly in My Pocket Watch is Melting.
Great film.
The director calls me over and he said, "How about we shave the beard?" I said, "But Dolly had a mustache."
Right.
And what's a mustache but a beard divided? And when I realized that was the whole dichotomy of playing this character, I knew exactly then who he was.
Man
A man divided exactly.
Charles, I'm very pleased to say the pickles are behind us. We're entering the back half now. Up next, we've got a friend to frat houses across the nation, very well known, Megan's Lager.
Oh, that's good. Did you guys make this?
We do. Do you like it?
Very much so. It's great. Just a nice, well-balanced lager. I could drink that all day.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot to us. We actually are really proud of this. We brewed this with a friend of the show, Megan Klein of Viral Brewing in Charleston, South Carolina. It means a lot that you like it. We're actually very pleased to announce that not only is it available now again in stores across the country, but Megan's going to be putting out another one of her newsletters talking about some new releases she has coming out this weekend. So if you're not now, make sure you're all registered under Megan's Lager.
Isn't that
Charles, we have a recurring segment on this show we call Peep That Tweet. Laptop, please. Thank you, sir. Now, this is where we take a deep dive of our guests' Twitter accounts for a couple tweets that may need a little more elaboration, a little bit of context thrown in there.
Oh man, it just kind of hit me there. Whew.
You okay?
Yeah, show must go on. Let's tweets.
First tweet up here. It says, "I don't believe in fortune." Now, Charles, many people like to think of you as sort of a modern-day shaman, Hollywood monk of sorts. This tweet right here, it seems very spiritual. What does it mean?
Well, that's a very interesting question. See, there's this very famous Chinese place in LA.
Grommet's?
No, Meisler's. You go there, you get a natty light and a lo mein for $5.
That's a good deal.
It occurred to me one day, I'm not getting the fortunes I need from these cookies. Okay. Again, I open it up. It's not some helpful lottery numbers. It's not a Chinese word that helps me understand what the laundryman's yelling at me. Instead, it's things like, hang in there. Do I look like a small cat hanging on a clothesline?
Absolutely not.
So, I eat the cookie in the fortune whole.
You just toss the whole thing down the hatch.
Eat it whole. Don't read the fortune, just ingest it. Manifest my own fortune. That's my secret.
Okay. Next up we have, shout out to all the lycanthropes for not having or enacting some kind of world domination / mass non-lycanthrope extinction plan last night. Judging by that tweet, it's the same date as the blood moon. So where were you for the blood moon? Is this about that?
No. That's, no. Let me just tell you, rabies is no joke. Get your shots, kids. Wow, this is just really hitting me.
Charles, you're looking rough. You're entering the back stretch here. How you doing?
It's got the spins a little bit, but I can power through this. We can do it. What's next?
What we have up next for you is something that we're very, very proud of. We're partnering with Old Puddle Porter, which is a environmentally friendly beer made from reclaimed water that's revolutionizing the beer industry.
How many of these we got left?
Including this, 4.
Sweet Christ cheesecloth.
Reclaimed water, right?
It tastes like somebody shit in a can of beans and threw it into a dumpster.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up. All right, Charles, you came up through the comedy diaspora of the ragtag group of friends from the Midwest. Mike Nunn, Austin Tomek, Ben Holtz. We all know the names. We may not know all the stories. Legendary group of folks. What's something that we may not know about the good old days coming up in comedy?
Well, I don't know how much I want to say. I don't want to embarrass any of the boys. There was this one actor that he just pissed off this local band, and they wrote this hate song about him, and very scathing. And, I could tell you a story, right? So we were up in Saskatoon filming, and we decided, hey, let's go visit the local gentleman's club. And there was this girl.
Oh boy.
No, it was a girl. We checked. We're getting pretty drunk, and she says, does anyone want to dance? And I'm thinking about, babe, might be kind of nice. So I'm sitting there, salsa in one hand, coins in the other. I'm ready to make it rain loonies. And then she starts telling me about her bird. You know, I had this bird, shouldn't be on a pellet diet, shouldn't be eating pellets or seeds, nothing like that, but he was. I don't really care. I'm just trying to get my rocks off. He was on top of the TV, and Tweety decided to end it all. He jumps off. He's a kamikaze bird. Took a header into the ground, was cracked open like a mullet. I was ready to make it rain loonies on her, but she's just boo-hoo-hoo. So I say, Chardonnay, Tweety's dead. I wish I could join him right now. However, Pablo, on the spot with the chips, well compensated. Look, between us, Connor, if Tweety had been on that seed diet, I would have walked away that night with an HJ. I just ordered some food. Is that cool?
Wait, do you have a spare beer?
Mm-hmm. There's a side beer.
You go hardcore, and I respect that. I gotta warn you, this is the beer that they say separates the men from the boys. This is not a joke. This is the nuclear ahopolis.
Let's do it!
Jesus.
It's bucking me like a wild bronco. It's like there's a million M80s going off in my balls.
Charles, you are a real rags to riches story for many of our viewers and fans at home. When is it that you really knew that you had made it in this business?
Well, I'll tell you a story. I was a young kid, 23, ended up in London on a bender. I kind of woke up next to the movie set one day, and I thought, well, hell, go in here and check it out. And then I realized there's people walking around with coffees. So I pick up some coffees. I started taking them around to people, give them coffees, introduce myself, make some friends. And I made one of my best and longest known friends, Matt Gabe, who's a director.
That was your first movie? That was Final Blow 8, the first Final Blow?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah, so, I brought Matt some coffee, we started talking a little bit more, got a good rapport, good relationship. And then he says to me, he confides in me, hey, Nicky Callahan, I call him Nicky, you might know him as Nickus Callahan. And
But that was the movie where, he freaked out and left Hollywood.
Yeah, he just disappeared one day. Last time I saw him, and I'll rewind it a little bit and give you some backstory, Matt came up to me and he said, Nicky's really not pulling his weight. He's doing all these jerk-off charity events, talking about his problems with the script. I can't do these lines. I don't want to do any of it. Okay. And he says to me, Charles, can you go have a conversation with Nicky? Talk to him, because he needs to or walk. We go out, Nicky and I are going out. I'm 23 years old. We're going out in London, one of the biggest stars in the world. We're drinking beers, we're having shots, we're doing this. And eventually I realized what I had to do. I couldn't do it where we were at. And Nicky says, hey man, let's go take a drive.
You and Nicky Callahan
Yeah.
are out getting drunk in London.
Right.
That's incredible. I've never heard that.
No, it's fun, man. So we're leaving the bar, we get in his Miata, right? He's just throwing the car into all these corners, blaring some Ray Charles. Da-na-na-na-na-na. It turns into some Tokyo drifting game of who's gonna puke first. Well, I stared puking in the face and I didn't blink. And then he pulls over, out middle of nowhere, he's taking a big old hork in the bushes. And I think, well, if not now, when? So I do what I had to do. I came back the next day, I was covered in dirt, my knuckles were bloodied up. And Matt says to me, I don't know what you did, kid, but you saved this film. And from now on, you're gonna be my Brando. And that's when I knew that I had what it takes to make it in this business.
I'm sorry. What happened?
You never know when you're gonna catch your break, so just be prepared and do what you have to do.
Up next, we have number 9, A Man of All Saisons by Sussman Brewing.
Oh man, does this sound so poetic?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, can we go back real quick? What happened with Nicky Callahan?
I think we gotta drink this before you ask any questions, yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
See, don't patronize me. Don't patronize me, okay?
Okay, so together then.
Yeah.
No, with that out of the way,
Yeah.
what happened to Nicky Callahan?
You didn't know. You don't call him Nicky.
Why the past tense?
As an actor, okay, you inhabit a lot of people, a lot of different lives. And sometimes those lives go away. You bury them in the deep, deep part of your mind like a crawl space deep.
Metaphorically.
Oh, absolutely, metaphorically, of course, of course. I'm not a horse.
I just want to be very clear here. We're not talking about characters, though, and that's all actorly and very interesting, but talking about Nick Callahan.
I feel like you're being very disrespectful. Hey, what's the next beer? This is a really good show. I mean, you guys know that. You really have something here. All these questions, I wouldn't answer on the press circuit, not with those squares.
That sounds right. Hey, so we're doing a brand new segment of this show we like to call Sightseeing. What we are going to ask is we have our guests come on and recommend locations for our viewers traveling abroad. And what I want you to do is if you look at this...
Oh, I'm going to do it.
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah, the last shot, right?
Last bomb. So for those of you watching at home or in a deposition, the last bomb is sort of a tradition around here. We take a little bit extra from all 10 beers that we started with, and we add that into the Beyond 12 steps for what we call a kamikaze bomb. So do we have that ready? Can we bring that out here?
Oh, a kamikaze, like the bird.
Yes, Charles. Like the bird.
Get it.
Great. wanted to find the greatest bangers and mash in London, where would I go?
Well, it's got to be Gino's. Gino's Bangers and Mash. Right here.
Right. Now, if I wanted to find the bar where you and Nikki Calloran had your famous encounter, where would I go?
I see what you're doing here.
Just trying to, for the fans at home.
This guy wants a star tour.
Circle on the map.
We're down the road here. Right by there, we hit the Bangers at Gino's on the way out. This beer's pretty strong. And we were driving down, and brush here. Foliage, there's a clearing. It's a quiet place. It's a nice spot to stop at.
So just to clarify, here?
Yeah, no, you can mark it right there.
Just guide me. All right.
Right there, black and white.
Well, hey, that was great, Charles. You have drank all the beers and answered more than everything I've asked. That's fantastic. And so you have earned yourself an extra special 20 minutes where you get to just talk to whoever. This camera, that camera, that camera. Just go ahead and let the people know what you got going on. And I'm going to just take 5 minutes and let you do your thing here. I don't think I need to be here for this.
Hey, I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for...
And I didn't say anything in here that I regret, did I?
No, not in the least.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So we'll talk after the show?
Yeah.
Anyway, so my movie's coming out August next year. It's called Sean's Last Night. It's about Sean's last night, not on this earth, but in this town. But sometimes it could be your last night on this earth.
You just watched Cold Flights with special guest Charles Lynch. Up next, Fromo plays Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And later at 7:30 in the morning, Yurgo reports new leads in the death of Nicholas Calloran, only on WZX 49.